And just in, the National Transportation Safety Board has released its preliminary report on the helicopter crash that
For centuries, stories of souls, spirits, and the afterlife have been dismissed as mere folklore, woven into tales of the unknown. But what if there's more truth to these ancient beliefs than we ever imagined? Across the world, there are countless encounters where the supernatural has been caught on camera. Eerie shadows lingering over accident scenes, misty apparitions drifting through empty halls, and inexplicable figures that vanish as quickly as they appear. These chilling moments have left us questioning what happens when the soul departs from the body. In this video, we explore 16 haunting instances where souls have seemingly left their physical forms, captured in chilling, undeniable detail. Get ready to step into the unknown, where the line between life and death blurs in the most unsettling ways. 16. A shadowy figure, the helicopter departure. In March of 2021, a tragic accident involving an American citizen set the stage for an unusual and unsettling event. The critically injured individual was swiftly airlifted to a hospital for emergency care, a race against time to save a life. As the helicopter lifted off, with the sound of its powerful rotor blades slicing through the air, something strange happened. Captured on video, a shadowy figure seemed to emerge from the helicopter's side, floating eerily in the air as the aircraft ascended into the sky. The figure, clearly visible for a brief moment, appeared to drift away from the helicopter as it departed, creating a sense of unease among those who witnessed it. Moments later, despite all efforts to save the patient, they were tragically pronounced dead. This strange occurrence immediately sparked questions. Could the shadowy form be a manifestation of the person's spirit leaving their body? Was this a supernatural event caught on camera? Such reports of shadowy figures or apparitions appearing during traumatic events are not uncommon. There have been other accounts where witnesses have claimed to see similar ghostly figures near people who are critically ill or dying. Some researchers suggest that extreme physical or emotional trauma might cause the energy surrounding a person to manifest in unexplained ways, potentially forming into visible shapes, such as shadowy figures or even ethereal mist. However, it's essential to approach this story with caution, as there are many possible explanations. Visual anomalies caused by camera angles, reflections, or lighting conditions could account for what was seen. Without further documentation or a concrete explanation, it remains impossible to say for certain whether this shadow was truly a soul departing or just a trick of the light. Still, the image captured in the video has sparked ongoing debates about the nature of life, death, and the potential existence of a realm beyond our own. 15. The heroic rescue and a supernatural encounter. On November 21st, 2020, a life or death situation unfolded at a quarry site. A stray dog had been swept into a fast-moving river, struggling desperately to stay afloat. Without hesitation, a man rushed into the water to try and save the animal. The current, however, proved too strong, and despite his best efforts, the man was quickly overpowered. As the onlookers helplessly watched, tragedy struck. Among the witnesses was a woman who instinctively pulled out her phone and began recording, unaware that her footage would reveal something far beyond her expectations. As she later reviewed the video, she was stunned. Amidst the chaotic scene, as the river churned violently, a bright, human-shaped figure appeared, floating above the water. This figure was distinctly luminous and radiated an ethereal glow. It was clear to the woman that what she had captured was not a normal part of the rescue operation. In the woman's belief, this was the man's soul leaving his body in his final moments. She was convinced that the apparition, glowing brightly, was a sign that his spirit had ascended, leaving his physical form behind. She insisted that the footage had not been tampered with in any way, further asserting that what she captured was a rare and undeniable glimpse into the afterlife. While the supernatural encounter unfolded in front of the camera, search and rescue teams worked feverishly to retrieve the man's body from the river. Unfortunately, despite their efforts, the man became the third person to drown in that dangerous quarry river, which had already claimed 2 lives that year. The haunting image of the glowing figure lingered with the witnesses, who were left questioning the fragility of life and whether this moment truly offered a glimpse into the unknown realms of existence. For many, the idea of a soul leaving the body at the moment of death is a deeply personal and spiritual experience. Whether the bright figure was truly the man's spirit or simply an optical illusion remains uncertain. Still, the sight of the figure in such a dramatic moment left a lasting impression on those who witnessed it, reinforcing the idea that life's final moments may hold more mystery than we can comprehend. 14. White Orbs and Angels, a Final Farewell. In a touching and emotional video from 2013, a woman named Janice Whitmer captured a moment that would forever change her perception of life and death. Janice was at Baptist Hospital in Nashville, Tennessee, documenting her mother's final moments before passing away. In the video, her mother, unconscious and near death, was surrounded by a peculiar sight: white orbs. These orbs, which glowed softly and hovered around her mother, appeared to move gently through the air, never disturbing the peaceful atmosphere. For Janice, the sight of these orbs was undeniable proof that something extraordinary was taking place. She believed that the orbs were angels, sent to guide her mother's soul to the afterlife. According to Janice, the orbs were present to help her mother make the transition from life to death, offering comfort and protection in her final moments. What makes this video even more compelling is the reaction it received online. Thousands of viewers supported Janice's belief, with many sharing their own experiences of seeing similar phenomena when their loved ones passed away. Some viewers claimed to have seen orbs, lights, or even apparitions of angels at the time of a loved one's death, leading to the idea that the presence of angels or spiritual guides might be common during life's final journey. This video sparked widespread discussion among those who believe in the supernatural, particularly in the realm of death and the afterlife. For many, it served as evidence that souls are not left to depart alone, but are instead gently escorted by divine beings into the next phase of existence. While skeptics argue that the orbs could simply be dust particles or lighting effects, the emotional weight of the video and the widespread belief in its authenticity have kept the discussion alive. Some spiritual theorists have suggested that the presence of such orbs and light formations could be connected to the energy fields that surround humans, which may become heightened or altered as the body prepares for death. This phenomenon may manifest as glowing orbs or beams of light, seen by some as divine presences or even the souls of the deceased, transitioning to the afterlife. While the scientific community has yet to provide conclusive evidence for the existence of angels or spirits, the video has certainly added fuel to the belief in a spiritual presence surrounding death. The orbs caught on camera in this intimate moment offer a touching and mysterious glimpse into the possibility that death may not be the end, but a transition into something far greater. 13. A mysterious soul. Captured, fleeing after gunshot. In the fast-paced and chaotic rhythm of city life, it's easy to overlook the extraordinary, but sometimes extraordinary things happen right in front of our eyes. One chilling incident captured in a video stands as a stark reminder that there may be more to life and death than we can comprehend. The footage begins with a violent confrontation in a busy urban street, where an armed man steps out of a black sedan, brandishing a weapon. He sprints toward a group of unsuspecting individuals, his intentions clear and deadly. Panic ensues as the crowd scatters, desperately attempting to flee from the imminent danger. Amidst the chaos, a single man is unable to outrun the killer. A gunshot rings out, and the man falls to the ground, his life cut short in an instant. As the killer makes his escape in the car, the footage takes a strange turn. Unbeknownst to everyone at the scene, a faint, almost translucent figure begins to rise from the fallen man's body. This shadowy form moves rapidly, gliding across the street in front of the camera. At first glance, it's almost imperceptible, but when the footage is slowed down, the image becomes unmistakably human-shaped. This eerie figure, almost as if it were the man's soul leaving his body, disappears quickly into the ether. Was this just a trick of the light, or a rare, supernatural glimpse of the soul's departure? This unsettling video has left many wondering if this figure was an authentic manifestation of the spirit, or simply an optical illusion. 12. Paranormal incident in Thailand. On September 17th, 2016, an unsettling video surfaced from Thailand that captivated viewers around the world. The incident occurred outside Paban's Song CRM camp, following a tragic motorcycle accident. A speeding motorbike collided violently with a truck, launching the riders from the vehicle. One victim tragically lost their life at the scene, the chaos unfolding as witnesses rushed to the scene to assist the injured. Amid this chaotic scene, something profoundly strange was caught on video. A shadowy, grainy figure appeared hovering over the motionless body of the deceased. This figure, barely discernible at first, seemed to float above the body, eerily still, while life-saving efforts were underway around it. The video, uploaded by Swanaj Swanata, quickly gained millions of views, igniting intense discussions about the nature of what had been captured. Critics quickly dismissed the footage as a hoax, claiming that the pixels appeared distorted or edited, creating the illusion of a spirit. Some even accused the uploader of disrespecting the tragic event by altering the video for attention. Despite these claims, the video has continued to provoke deep fascination, leading many to question whether this shadow was truly a manifestation of the spirit leaving the body or simply a poorly executed illusion. Remains an enigma, sparking debates on the authenticity of the footage and the possibilities of life beyond death. 11. Soul leaving a woman's body in a haunted hospital. In 2014, a haunting video surfaced online that further fueled the debate over the existence of souls and the afterlife. The footage allegedly captured the exact moment a woman's soul left her body, taken from a hospital bed in a dimly lit room. While the video's quality is far from perfect, the chilling nature of the content more than makes up for the lack of clarity. The woman is seen lying unconscious, her body motionless, and a sense of foreboding fills the room. The footage becomes even more unsettling when a white, shadowy figure begins to emerge from the top of the woman's body. Slowly, this figure forms into something more tangible, taking on a more defined shape before it darts out of the room, disappearing into the unknown. This eerie video has stirred up significant interest, with believers seeing it as undeniable proof that the soul is a separate entity from the body. Some argue that the video captures an undeniable moment of the woman's soul transitioning from her physical form. Skeptics, however, have questioned the authenticity of the footage, suggesting that it could have been staged or manipulated. Regardless of whether it's real or not, forces us to confront one of life's most profound mysteries. What happens after we leave this world? 10. Soul leaving a patient's body. A chilling video surfaced online that seemed to provide an unmistakable glimpse into the moment when a soul leaves the body. In this spine-tingling footage, a young patient lies in a hospital bed, surrounded by a team of doctors working frantically to stabilize him. After a harrowing resuscitation effort, the heart monitor shows signs of recovery, and the doctors allow themselves a moment of hope. But the relief is short-lived, as the monitor suddenly begins to flatline. As the doctors spring into action again, attempting to revive the patient, something astonishing occurs. The camera captures a faint, translucent figure slowly rising from the patient's body, moving upward in a way that suggests something intangible is separating from the physical form. The doctors, unaware of the figure, continue their desperate attempts to resuscitate the young man, but it's clear that the soul had already departed. The eerie silence that follows, as the doctors realize the patient is beyond saving, is palpable, and the camera footage stands as a haunting testament to the moment a soul transitions from life to death. The haunting nature raises numerous questions about the nature of life and death, particularly the possibility of a soul existing separately from the physical body. Whether this footage was an extraordinary capture of the supernatural or just an eerie coincidence, it forces us to question the very essence of human existence. 9. Soul of an old man. Gone in the night. The footage from Joe's bedroom in 2018 captured an encounter that will make you reconsider everything you know about life, death, and what happens in between. Joe, an elderly man, was fast asleep, lying peacefully in his bed, unaware of what was about to unfold. The CCTV footage, captured in the stillness of the night, reveals a deeply unsettling event. At first, nothing seems out of the ordinary. Joe's body rests on his bed, appearing peaceful, as though caught in a deep slumber. However, something truly strange happens. A small white orb suddenly appears in the room, hovering above Joe's body. Orbs, particularly white ones, have long been associated with the supernatural. These orbs are often believed to represent the souls of the departed, or the energy that surrounds and supports the soul. While some believe orbs and souls are one and the same, others suggest there is a distinction. Souls, in this context, are thought to be the essence of human consciousness, residing within the body, while orbs are considered to be the life force that surrounds the soul. As the camera continues to roll, the white orb floats upwards, seemingly emerging from Joe's body. It is the first orb to appear, but it isn't the only one. As the video progresses, more orbs follow, floating from Joe's body one by one, creating a haunting procession. The orbs drift slowly upward before vanishing out of view. Soul's departure. After a tragic car crash. Sudden death is always a tragedy, but it is the moments that follow, in the midst of such profound loss, that often spark the most questions. In this disturbing video, the aftermath of a tragic car crash is captured, leaving viewers to grapple with the reality of life and death. The scene is chaotic. Emergency vehicles, their sirens wailing, illuminate the area, while paramedics rush to assess the situation, doing everything they can to save the lives of the injured. In the middle of the commotion, the lifeless body of the driver lies in the wreckage, serving as a haunting reminder of how fragile life truly is. The paramedics continue their work, completely unaware of what the camera records. As the camera pans over the scene, a dark, translucent figure begins to rise slowly from the driver's body. This figure hovers briefly above the body before disappearing into thin air. The presence of this shadowy figure is chilling, and its appearance is enough to make anyone question the nature of life after death. What exactly is this shadowy figure? Is it truly the soul of the driver, departing his body in the final moments of life? Or could it simply be a trick of the light, a camera glitch, or a strange optical illusion? The idea that this figure might be the driver's soul departing is unsettling. It suggests that, in the moments following death, there is a crossing between the physical and spiritual realms, and that the boundary between the two is thinner than we might ever imagine. Whether this footage captures an actual supernatural event? 7. A soul's silent exit. The final moments of life are often accompanied by a profound stillness, a silence that marks the transition from one state of being to another. In this next chilling clip, a man lies on his deathbed, taking what would be his final breaths. The footage, captured with startling clarity, reveals an unsettling and eerie occurrence at the very moment of his passing. As the man takes his last breath, something strange begins to unfold. A shadowy figure, barely visible to the eye, rises from his body. The figure is dark, nearly transparent, but still discernible against the pale wall behind it. It drifts slowly upward, as if being lifted by the very last breath the man took. The figure hovers for a brief moment, suspended in the air, before disappearing without a trace. The footage is deeply unsettling, capturing the soul's departure with a quiet and somber grace. There is something profoundly moving about witnessing such a moment, where life has left the body and the soul moves on to whatever awaits in the beyond. The shadowy figure in the video appears so peaceful, almost as though it is making its final journey, gently drifting away from the physical realm. This haunting footage challenges us to think about the final moments of life, the moment when the soul departs, and what happens after death. Is this footage truly a glimpse into the afterlife? A rare moment of spiritual transition? 6. A homeless man's soul. Walking away. In a forgotten corner of Japan, far from the bustling streets and neon lights, lies a haunting story of a homeless man's final moments. The video that captured this eerie encounter has gone viral, leaving many to ponder the nature of life, death, and the unseen world. It takes place in a quiet, lonely spot under a bridge, away from the noise of the city, where the man rests, carrying only a small bag with him. The camera captures a moment of stillness, an unusual, almost timeless pause. The man lies down on the curb, seeking a peaceful rest, but little does he know that what happens next will leave those who witness it questioning everything they thought they knew about life and death. As his body remains motionless on the ground, a faint, ghostly figure begins to rise slowly from his form. At first, it is barely visible, almost imperceptible to the naked eye, but its presence is undeniable once you focus on it. This shadowy figure, believed to be the homeless man's soul, sits up, appearing to take one last, sorrowful look at the life it's leaving behind. It hovers for a brief moment, still and silent, before slowly rising and walking away from its body, disappearing into the night. The figure's movement is soft, ethereal, almost graceful. It seems to be walking towards something unknown, yet it feels like the final step in the journey of the soul. Caught between worlds. This next piece of footage is both eerie and heartbreaking. The scene captures the aftermath of a devastating car accident. The wreckage is grim. Emergency responders rush to the scene, and bystanders are in shock. Amidst all the chaos, however, something unsettling begins to unfold. A faint, shadowy figure emerges near the wrecked vehicle. The figure moves aimlessly, drifting as though confused, almost as if it doesn't realize its own death. It hovers around the crash site, seemingly unsure of where to go, unaware that it has already crossed over from the physical world. The figure doesn't seem hostile, rather it is lost, as if stuck between two worlds, unable to move on from the earthly plane. The idea of souls being caught between the living world and the afterlife has been explored in many cultures and beliefs. This haunting footage, if real, suggests that the soul might not always immediately leave the body after death. Instead, it lingers, confused or reluctant to depart. Could this shadowy figure be the soul of one of the victims, still trying to process its own demise? Whether or not you believe in the supernatural, this footage serves as a stark reminder of how fragile life is and how unpredictable death can be. The image of a lost soul, drifting in confusion, is one that lingers in the mind long after watching. 04. A car crash at an intersection. Next up, we turn to another chilling incident that was caught on camera, this time at a busy intersection where a car crash has just occurred. The footage begins in a chaotic scene, with wrecked vehicles scattered across the road. An ambulance is parked nearby, its lights flashing, as paramedics work diligently to save the life of a crash victim. As the camera pans over the scene, a ghostly figure begins to form just behind the ambulance. The figure is translucent, barely visible at first, but as it becomes clearer, it is unmistakably human in shape. The figure seems to hover, suspended just above the ground near the victim's location. It looks almost like a man, ghostly and ethereal, standing quietly, seemingly observing the events unfolding around him. The appearance of this figure is strange. Many people believe that this could be the soul of the crash victim, still lingering near the scene of their demise. The figure seems calm, almost peaceful, as though watching over the wreckage. Some viewers even suggest that the figure could be bidding a final farewell to the world before passing on. The ghostly presence has sparked intense discussion online, with some people suggesting that the video captures a soul leaving its earthly form, while others argue it's just an anomaly in the footage, perhaps a glitch or a strange reflection from the ambulance's lights. Whether supernatural or just a visual oddity, the footage raises profound questions about life, death, and the existence of the soul. 3. An extraordinary encounter in the bedroom. The third video opens in a seemingly ordinary bedroom, where two middle-aged individuals are peacefully asleep. One lies on a large bed, and the other rests on a smaller bed nearby. For the first few minutes, the scene is calm, with only the sound of quiet breathing filling the air. It seems like an ordinary night, with nothing out of the ordinary to suggest that something supernatural is about to unfold. However, the tranquility is soon shattered by a ghostly and inexplicable presence. A pale, off-white figure, almost ethereal in appearance, floats into the room. It hovers silently, moving over the woman on the larger bed. Slowly, the figure inches closer to her, and the atmosphere grows heavier with an unsettling sense of anticipation. As the figure approaches, it begins to enter her body, disappearing into her form with a strange, almost fluid-like motion. The moment is jarring, and a chill fills the air, as if the very fabric of reality is being bent. Just when you think the moment is over, the figure reverses its movement, exiting the woman's body in the same mysterious way it entered. The entity floats away, disappearing as quietly as it arrived, leaving behind an eerie silence in the room. The moment feels as if time itself has stopped for just a brief second. The video is accompanied by a voiceover from the woman herself, who watches the CCTV footage of that fateful night. Her voice is filled with distress as she recounts her experience, describing what she saw as a spirit or entity moving in and out of her body. She explains how the footage confirms the presence of something unearthly, something that cannot be easily explained away. 2. Spirit in a hospital. Hospitals, as institutions where life and death intersect, have long been associated with strange occurrences and ghostly phenomena. The second video takes us to a hospital in India, where a ghostly encounter in a deserted hallway raises more questions than answers. Filmed in 2014, the video begins in the quiet and eerie stillness of a dimly lit hospital corridor at night. A few individuals are asleep on the floor, seemingly unaware of the otherworldly events unfolding around them. Just down the hall is the hospital's morgue, an ominous reminder of the thin line between life and death. The darkened hall is quiet, but a sense of foreboding lingers in the air. As the video continues, something strange begins to happen. A shadowy black figure starts to materialize near the entrance of the morgue. The figure seems to take shape, slowly becoming more defined, resembling a man standing still in the hallway. For a few moments, the figure does not move, but the tension in the air is palpable. Then, just as suddenly as it appeared, the figure begins to move down the hallway toward the sleeping individuals. As it gets closer, the figure seems to grow clearer, its shape more distinct. However, this clarity is short-lived. The figure accelerates rapidly, zooming past the sleeping people at an incredible speed. It disappears into thin air, leaving no trace of its presence. The eerie nature of the encounter has many speculating about its true origin. Some believe the shadowy figure is the spirit of a deceased individual, perhaps one whose soul had been unable to move on from the morgue. The hospital's connection to death makes this theory particularly compelling, as it is not uncommon for spirits to be drawn to places where they once resided in life. Medical staff and patients alike have reported numerous supernatural experiences in hospitals, from ghostly apparitions to inexplicable noises and sensations. The proximity of the morgue in this footage adds an unsettling layer to the already eerie atmosphere. As the figure moves quickly and silently past the sleeping individuals, one can't help but wonder, what would have happened if one of them had awoken and encountered the spirit? Encounters with spirits or supernatural entities tend to evoke a wide range of responses, from fear and unease to feelings of calm and heightened awareness. Some people believe that such encounters could signal a deeper connection to the spiritual world, while others might feel fear or discomfort. Beliefs about spirits and the afterlife vary widely across cultures and religions, but one thing is clear. 1. A mother's heartfelt encounter with her son's spirit. The final video takes us on an emotional journey, exploring the powerful connection between a mother and her deceased son. In this heartwarming yet eerie encounter, a woman shares her belief that she saw the spirit of her late son, Robbie, 3 years after his tragic death. Robbie passed away in 2016, at the young age of 22, due to an accidental drug overdose, leaving behind a devastated family. In 2019, the woman was sitting with her daughter, casually watching TV, when her phone buzzed with a notification from the security camera at the front entrance of their home. The camera had detected movement. Curious, the mother and daughter checked the footage, but what they saw left them speechless. The footage showed a figure that strongly resembled Robbie, standing in the entryway of the home. The figure was ethereal, almost transparent, but unmistakably familiar. The mother, who had known Robbie as only a mother could, instantly recognized the figure as her son, The sight of him 3 years after his death was both comforting and eerie. The footage seemed to capture a brief moment of Robbie's spirit returning to visit his family. This encounter stirred deep emotional reactions in the family, sparking discussions about the possibility of an afterlife and the continued connection between the living and the dead. Many people who reviewed the footage agreed that the figure looked like Robbie, further validating the family's experience. Some viewed the encounter as evidence that spirits continue to watch over their loved ones even after they have passed from this world. Psychologists suggest that such experiences could be a part of the grieving process, a way for people to cope with the loss of a loved one.